Hello, we are Team NeurX here to present our solution for the SDGs Challenge 2026.
To most people in the modern world, slavery is just another term in your textbooks. But if you looked hard enough, you'd see human autonomy being enslaved by pills and by glowing screens. Is addiction a failure of willpower and discipline? Well, we believe otherwise. We believe that addiction is a hijacking of the human brain.
Globally, over 35 million people suffer from drug use disorders, yet only 1 in 8 ever receives proper treatment. But the prison isn't just chemical, it can also be digital. We see it in our everyday lives in the form of excessive gaming, passive media consumption, and even in perpetual behavioral traps. The very mind which makes us who we are can become our biggest obstacle.
But if a brain can be hijacked, it can also be reprogrammed. Aligned directly with the UN Sustainable Development Goal Target 3, specifically 3.4 and 3.5, we are weaponizing the exact devices that trapped us to build an escape route.
We present to you a solution in the form of a digital therapeutic, built to help people climb out of the deep, dark hole of addiction. We present to you Project NeurX. Our app starts with an adaptive diagnostic. Over the course of the first 15 days, the app runs interactive questionnaires, inspired by the video game Akinator, and 3 layers of globally trusted clinical standards: the DSM 5, ICD 11, and the CRAVE scale. It analyzes the user's psychological state. This data is used to fuel our persona projection model.
Fighting addiction using a broken self image is what often leads to failure.
To break this loop, we use a model backed by 3 psychological engines: narrative reconstruction, Seymour, and the Batman effect. When a relapse hits, the user is forced to make a choice from the perspective of the persona that they've built.
We also intend on making a peer support network to act as a social anchor to our users during addiction recovery.
We track real world action through a neural map which displays all of the user's recurring patterns and maps out their addiction in the form of a cycle. When an urge hits, the user gets to deploy a bypass shield which provides them with immediate tools to aid with coping. We shift away from traditional sobriety trackers to track the user's progress percentage instead of their streak, to focus more on resilience than on perfection.
Our app NeurX is designed with sustainability and efficiency in mind. It compresses media on device while preserving quality, stores data locally to reduce carbon emissions and network usage, and automatically deletes community uploads after 90 days.
With this, we have built a truly secure and engaging digital fortress for self recovery. Our app is based on psychological theory such as narrative reconstruction theory, which states that individuals actively reinterpret their past experiences through narrative reconstruction. For example, past events that narrates the story of failure can be reframed by formative learning experience. Our app aims to use this theory by deconstructing a problem-saturated narrative, separating the story from the user, and rewriting the narrative in such a way that it aligns with the change that the user is looking for. Our app also uses the social identity model of recovery, which explains that overcoming addiction requires a shift from an addict identity to a recovery identity. During moments of urge, our formula gently interrupts impulsive thinking with questions like, "What would your character do right now?" This shifts the user's perspective from reacting impulsively to making decisions that align with the desired identity. Over time, this supports the transition from an addiction centered identity to a recovery oriented identity. We are planning to implement our app with a 6-month roadmap. Month 1 focuses entirely on pre engineering, expert consultation, and spec mapping. In these 30 days, we are going to consult medical advisors to validate our safety frameworks. The months 2 and 3 will be consumed in the infrastructure, architecture, and engineering of the app. This will be accomplished through the collaboration with experts in coding, wiring, and building the software of the app within our close relations in family, friends, or teachers. Month 4 involves the closed beta release and MVP testing with a closed group of recovering individuals. We will launch this to 50 users to fix bugs and refine user experience with the mentorship and guidance under a psychiatrist. Month 5 is when we will work on regulatory audit, security hardening, improving the legal and safety aspects of the app to ensure complete protection of user privacy and data. Month 6, our final phase of the project, will involve field study, grassroots, pilot, and public launch.
Digital apps are readily available for users. With just a click of a button, individuals have immediate access to healthcare and emergency hotlines in order to seek urgent medical care. A Stanford University randomized controlled trial published on PubMed proved that using a structured digital therapeutic app for substance tracking cuts active use occasions by a mean of 9.3 events per month. The exact same clinical trial verified that integrating interactive text based reflection loops cuts subjective user craving scores clearly in half, precisely by 50%. Objective behavioral software data archived in JMIR confirms that mental health platforms featuring dedicated tracking and interactive tools capture a median of 27.1 unique interactions per active user per month. Successful mental health apps include BetterHelp, WYSA, and Headspace. BetterHelp connects users with licensed therapists. WYSA offers AI driven emotional support, and Headspace provides beginner friendly guided meditations. They demonstrate the importance of online mental health modules and have continued to serve millions of users reliably. Let's say an onboarding of 10,000 active users happens across the country. With the 45.8% retention rate, approximately 4,580 users will remain active for a month's time. And since clinical data proves that these active users will face 9.3 fewer relapses every month, it could prevent 42,594 individual relapse crises in India every single month. This keeps thousands of recovering individuals stable within the proximity of their own homes. This app also reduces relapse rates in recovering individuals by providing free medical health care, especially in rural areas where rehab centers are minimal. In global scenario, let's say 100,000 users download this app. From statistical data on app retention, we could estimate around 45,800 users to stay active for 30 days. If users log 27 times a month, it successfully prevents clinical relapse cycles, saving $18,320,000 annually.
From a financial perspective, we aim to ensure a long-term and self-sustainable app regularly funded during our course. So for our app, we have a two-step fundraising plan, and the first step includes during the months 4 and 5, we will make sure to raise funds to local school innovation grants, student research funds, and small-scale community crowdfunding initiatives. The second step includes NGO sponsorship. We will collaborate with independent addiction recovery NGOs and health awareness foundations. In return for sponsoring us, we will ensure that these organizations receive access to the platform as a resource that can support their awareness, education, and outreach initiatives. CSR companies can help us grow through technological support and app development and also provide us funds. Now, our level of benefits comes from a micro level and expands to a macro level. In the micro level, we want to benefit an individual's life by ensuring higher long-term recovery rates and reducing public health expenses. Also, in the meso level, we want the doctors and psychologists to take care of their patients by looking at the data collected through consent and also understanding which tools can be used for the person. And in a macro level, we want to build strong community networks to build peer-to-peer checks and those that can inspire and encourage. For a few challenges which we may come through includes inconsistent logging, building user trust, and clinical risk. While these challenges cannot be eliminated through continuous user feedback, providing a surety of keeping data anonymous and developing a proper security model, and through collaboration with mental health professionals, this platform seeks to create a secure and supportive environment for the growth, development, and recovery of users and help construct a systematic path to breaking chains of dependence. Thank you.
Disclaimer: please take a moment to read our terms and privacy policy. You are responsible for how your data is collected, used, and who can access it.